The Tools panel might seem a little irrelevant since every single one of these tools has a keyboard shortcut, and I would strongly recommend that you learn all of them because it's just going to make you so much faster working inside of After Effects. But there's still some features of the Tools panel that don't exist anywhere else in After Effects, so it's absolutely worth having docked in your workspace. And I've created a comprehensive PDF that covers absolutely every panel in After Effects, so if you really want to understand each and every one of them and have a quick reference guide, you can download that for free down in the description. And for the month of January, everything on my site is 20% off. That includes my courses, tools, and course bundles, so definitely take advantage of that sale while it lasts. Now, obviously, this is where all of your tools live. If you need to do something in After Effects, you're going to need to use the tools that are available to you, and you can find them all up here. But there's also contextual information. On the other side of this little divider, there's going to be different controls depending on what tool you have selected, and they're all worth knowing about. Let's start with the shape tool. I'm gonna just draw a box, and that creates a parametric shape with controls for the size, position, roundness. But if we come over to the contextual controls, there's a Bezier path option. So if I draw a second box, it looks the same, but it's not parametric. It just drew it with a path, which may or may not be something you wanna do, but it's an option that we have up here. Right next to it, there's this toggle switch for the properties panel. So if you don't have it enabled, you don't have to go to the window menu to open it up. You can just toggle it on or off. And right next to that, there's an auto open panel. What this is going to do is open up the associated panel with the tool that you switch to. For shapes, that's the properties panel, which I already have open. But for the paint tools, so the brush, clone stamp, and the eraser, if I click on that, you see that it's unchecked. Let me check it back on and switch tools. That's gonna open up the paint and brush panels, which are necessary for working with these tools. And just as easily, you can toggle it off. Now, I don't like panels auto opening on me, so I usually have that unchecked for all of these options. But like I said, you can always toggle it on or off just by clicking on that switch. Now let's jump back to the selection tool. Since I have two squares here, there's this option for snapping. Now, the way that I like to snap in my layers is by just holding the keyboard shortcut of Control or Command, and that's gonna find a point closest to where your mouse is and align it to other objects. But if I enable it, then it's going to snap all the time, and the keyboard shortcut of Control or Command will disable it temporarily, which is a fine way to work if you like to have snapping on all the time. But right next to that checkbox are two controls that are definitely worth knowing about. This one is enabled by default, I believe, snap along edges extending beyond layer boundaries. What this means is if I snap it to that corner and then I move it with snapping enabled, you can see that dashed line is allowing me to keep this aligned to that edge, even though I'm moving far away from the shape. That's a really great feature. And right next to it, we have snap to show features inside collapsed compositions and text layers. So if I were just to make a couple of squares here and pre-compose them, so let me call this squares, and then I try to snap this shape to it, I'm only gonna be able to hit the boundaries of that layer or the center line. It's not paying attention to the contents of that pre-comp. If I collapse transformations on that pre-comp, it's still not gonna pay attention to those objects. It's going to find the bounding box for those three layers, but not the contents within them, unless I enable that as a feature of snapping, and now it can see through that pre-comp essentially and allow me to snap to things within it. That's a great feature to have. Now, if I were to make this 3D and we take a look at our 3D controls, there are lots of contextual options that are revealed when you have 3D objects in your scene. So we have controls for how the camera moves around when we use the orbit tool, but even the selection tool now has a lot more control over how the gizmo behaves. So by default, it's a universal gizmo, but we can change it to just position, to scale, or rotation. And we have options for how the axis is displayed. So if I rotate this down into the left, you can see that gizmo rotated with it. So I can move it along that axis, the local axis of the layer. But if I change this to world axis, it's always going to be aligned to the scene, no matter what. I can rotate this as much as I want, and the gizmo is not going to rotate with it. And if I just rotate my default scene camera a little bit, you can see that gizmo is always oriented in the same direction with that world axis view. If I switch it back to local, it's again aligned to the layer. World axis is aligned to the scene. But the third option is aligning to the view. So if I enable that, now it's pointing at the camera. It's aligned at the same axis that my camera is aligned to, no matter how I move it. So I can rotate it around as much as I want. That's always going to point right at the camera, which would allow me to move it in relationship to the camera. So I can pan this around horizontally, vertically, or directly away or towards the camera. That's a great option to be able to move things in relationship to where your camera currently is. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that layer. And finally, over here on the right side, we have our workspace shortcuts. So this is where we can rearrange any part of our workspace and save it as a clickable button, but we can also manage this menu. So this part of our edit workspaces window controls which shortcuts are showing up in this menu. So if I bring small screen in and I click OK, that's gonna automatically resize this and rearrange these in that order. And I can click and drag this interactively if I want to. But if we go back into that menu, we can also take things completely out of the list. So do not show, these are workspaces that will not display in that bar whatsoever. And I think that's a great feature of After Effects. Giving us that control over our workspace is really great to be able to personalize the app to work exactly the way that you want to. So while it might seem like a very simple panel that just gives you access to tools, there's actually a whole lot going on here, and it definitely deserves a permanent spot in your After Effects workspace, and it really takes up very little of that UI space, and that's why I always have it docked. Still, I think that you should be learning the keyboard shortcuts for all of these tools because it just makes you so much faster. If you need a refresher, I made an entire video dedicated to my favorite keyboard shortcuts, and there's a PDF in that video as well. You can watch that above. But that's it for the tools panel. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one.